Judge mocked, a poor boy, shocked, when he discovered the kid was a genius in. Before we dive in this story, hit the comments and tell us your city or country. Let's see how far this story reaches. If you like the video, please subscribe. A dusty hoodie, worn-out shoes, and a notebook clutched like treasure. That's how the boy stood in court, silent, eyes low. He wasn't the criminal, just a witness. But the judge laughed, mocked his broken grammar, and dismissed him as if he were trash. The courtroom chuckled. The boy didn't flinch. What did no one know? That nobody had just solved a case the city couldn't crack in 2 years. What he said next stopped the trial cold and made the judge rise in disbelief. What happens when brilliance comes in unexpected packaging? Watch till the end. 12-year-old Elijah lived in a crumbling apartment with his grandmother. This former librarian taught him everything she knew. They didn't have much. No internet, no TV, just a stack of used books and a shared dream: to rise above. Elijah loved puzzles, codes, and anything that needed cracking. His mind worked differently, quietly, brilliantly. One day, while walking home, he saw a robbery at a convenience store. But it wasn't just what he saw, it's what he noticed that no one else did: the wrong timestamp, the missing shadow, the detail on camera caught. When police reviewed the footage, they called him in as a witness. Nervous but determined, Elijah showed up in court. However, instead of being welcomed, he was belittled for his appearance and speech. That day, no one expected him to change the course of a case that had the entire city stumped. As Elijah took the stand, whispers filled the courtroom. His oversized jacket, his dusty backpack, he didn't look like someone the system respected. The prosecutor gave him a forced smile, but the judge barely looked up. When Elijah mispronounced a legal term, the judge chuckled and leaned into the mic. Maybe next time, try using real words. Laughter echoed. Elijah stared at his notebook, his hands trembling. Then softly he said, "Your Honor, I think the suspect wasn't even at the scene." That shut the room up. He flipped open his notes. With perfect detail, he described the reflection in the freezer glass, a reflection no one else had seen. He pointed out that the time on a wall clock in the background didn't match the security footage timestamp. Then he explained how the cashier's story didn't match the sound pattern from the emergency call, something he noticed from analyzing the audio. The judge leaned forward, his smirk gone. "How did you?" he started. "I just pay attention," Elijah replied quietly. "And I read a lot." The courtroom shifted, lawyers whispered. The prosecutor asked for a recess. People began to realize this wasn't just a poor kid rambling. This was a mind sharper than any they'd seen in years. By the end of the hour, Elijah had completely unraveled the prosecution's case. The accused man was released. But all eyes were now on Elijah. The judge called Elijah back into the courtroom after recess. His tone was different, measured, almost humbled. "Where did you learn to do this?" Elijah hesitated, then said, "Books and watching. People don't look at me much, so I see everything." The judge went silent. His gavel, once used to quiet a child, now struck the bench to recognize him. Word spread fast. A boy mocked for his clothes had just dissected a case like a seasoned analyst. The judge asked for his notebook. Elijah had scribbled dozens of observations no detective had caught. That very day, 2 local universities called. One wanted to meet him. The other tried to offer him a scholarship. But Elijah didn't care about that yet. He just smiled, packed his bag, and walked home, with his head a little higher. Elijah never forgot how that courtroom laughed. But he also never forgot how silence can command a room once it's filled with truth. His story hit the news, not because he was poor, not even because he was a genius. However, the world has come to realize that intelligence has no uniform standard. The judge, once amused, later apologized in writing. Elijah now mentors kids like him. Kids who wear worn shoes but carry sharp minds. Because brilliance doesn't need permission to shine, and sometimes The loudest voice in the room is the one that sees what others miss. How many Elijahs are out there, overlooked, underestimated, unseen? Drop a if you believe it's time we stop judging by the cover and start listening to the whole story. Where are you watching from? If you enjoyed this story and thought it provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Take care.